in our operation, especially in the supply of electricity in this country, which was also stated by the chairman, no less than Henry C. Sr., that there is no possibility at all, and everything is fake news, that the Chinese can interfere and can black out the entire country. Can you say that categorically, unequivocally?
Mr. Almeda, you're under oath.
Yes, Mrs. Chair. Yes, there is no possibility that, as far as I'm concerned, as a Filipino citizen and as a reserve also of the armed forces, I categorically say that there's no possibility, Mr. Chair, that the Chinese can, considers the need to all sectors. We are willing to be part of the solution, but transmission should not be the solution for everyone's problems. For DOE, ERC, and Transco, Ngcp, and IMAP, we should work together hand in hand to have a better energy plan. God bless us all. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Hello po mga ka-viral and welcome back again to this YouTube channel. Latest update na naman tayo. Nabuking na ang tunay na status ng Ngcp o National Grid Commission of the Philippines na siyang responsable sa pamamahala ng elektrisidad sa ating bansa. Nabunyag na hindi Pilipino ang chairman o namamahala dito kundi isang Chinese national, pati na rin ang mga board of directors na ayon sa mga kongresista ay paglabag sa National Constitution na pagkasunduan ng nagdaang administrasyon ng Pangulong Duterte na makipagtulungan sa China para sa Ngcp kung saan 60% ay sa mga Pilipino at 40% naman sa mga Chinese. Subalit, lumalabas ngayon na maaring sinasabotay ng China ang kuryente ng bansa at kinokontrol nila ang operasyon ng ating elektrisidad sa dahilan na meron pala itong control power sa Nanjing, China. At ito ay ang nakakagulat na nadiskubre ng mga nag-iimbestiga. Pinangangambahan ngayon ng marami ang national security ng ating bansa kung tunay ngang mayroong control system ang Ngcp sa Nanjing, China. Isa sa mga isyu na tinalakay sa committee hearing on franchise ay ang hindi pa pagkakaroon ng audit report sa Ngcp simula nang ito'y na-implementa, na ayon sa mga kongresista ay nakakaduda at labag sa batas. Sa nasabing hearing ay dumalo ang ilang mga personalidad na kabilang sa Ngcp at talagang sinabon sila ng mga kongresista na sina Congresswoman Attorney Luestro, Congressman Adjong, Congressman Marcoleta, Congressman Rodriguez at iba pa. Natuklasan at pinagdududahan ng maaring may kasunduan ang nagdaang administrasyon na si Pangulong Duterte at China hinggil sa Ngcp na baka naibenta na ito sa China. Narito ang nakakagulat na mga revelasyon sa nagdaang hearing sa Kamara hinggil sa National Grid Commission of the Philippines o Ngcp. Atin pong panoorin.
Now, the next issue is, already in the last hearing, the SEC has already come out with an opinion that chairmen who are foreigners, like in this case a Chinese is a chairman, has no violation of the constitutional provision under Article 15 that it says there that executive and managerial positions are reserved to Filipinos. Clearly, the chairmanship is not a violation if you have a Chinese or any other foreign individual. Now, what's being brought here is that the chief technical officer. Question to SEC. Are technical officers executive or managerial positions violating the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. As to the duties of the Chief Technical Officer, it would largely depend on what is written in the bylaws of Ngcp.
Ngcp, did you not examine that and then you had a big decision and you have certified that there's no violation?
We have no certification that Ngcp has not violated any constitutional provision. If I have to manifest that. What I have stated in the last hearing is based on an opinion by the SEC that was issued before, stating that chairman of the board may be a foreign national, but it has to be qualified that his duties will be limited to that of a presiding officer in board meetings.
That's correct. Ngcp. Okay. Oh, you have secured all the approvals of this chief technical officer. Can you tell us which agencies has approved and has now no objection to your appointment of a chief technical officer who is a Chinese?
Mr. Chairman, the chief technical, well, all our technical officers at that time had to go through a gamut of applications for work permits and visas, work visas. We first go to the DOE to get their endorsement, and they will endorse the application to the DOJ, and the DOJ will cascade that application to the
To get
BID.
that endorsement from DOE.
And then the BID, after yes.
Yes,
But-
yes, for the record. The DOE endorsed your application, endorsed that position to be held by a Chinese, and then you can now go to the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Immigration, which I headed during the time of President Estrada.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. That's the procedure. And then they evaluate the functions that the technical personnel will be performing, and if they are indeed technical in nature, they will issue the permit for the technical personnel.
And were they issued permits from the Bureau of Immigration and the Department of Justice?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
For nobody has questioned these decisions of the agencies that are really looking into whether a position holder violates the Constitution or not. There was no adverse decision of all the agencies of the government.
Not that we recall, Mr. Chairman.
Was there, because you supervise corporations, was there a complaint of any person against the chief technical officer holding this position that it violates the law?
As of this moment, Mr. Chair, there is no filed complaint regarding that matter, Mr. Chair.
And so therefore, once again, I'm saying that there is no violation at all. And so, chairman can be a foreigner, chief technical officer can be a foreigner. Now, it's clear. Now, let's go to the most basic, the most important constitutional, what pervades the Constitution, and that is national security, Mr. Chairman. It is not mentioned in the Constitution, but in every section, every article of the Constitution, always national security. What is there is national territory, national development, and all of this. So then we go now to the issue of the Chinese with the NGCP. Okay. So now, you stated, Attorney Sagayo, that indeed you have a memorandum of agreement between you and NICA, correct? And NICA, Mr. Chairman, is the primary intelligence gathering and analysis of arm of the Philippine government, carrying out three functions: overt, covert, clandestine intelligence operations. So we have to find out on this issue of national security, which is brought about during the last hearing and then now, that the Chinese are there, and therefore there is this is a question of national security because the Chinese interferes with the NGCP, interferes in its operations, its decision making. And therefore, if they are there, it therefore creates a problem on national security, and which all of us Filipinos will be against if there is any foreign power that will therefore make, decide on the fate of Filipinos. We will know now whether this particular, has the NICA found any violation of NGCP in relations to these Chinese being there as technical or as board directors?
Before you answer, your 5 minutes up, but we will give you an extension because you're also a senior citizen.
Yes, I invoke
Okay,
that
for
because
two.
otherwise
Okay.
there will be no equal protection of the laws.
Okay.
If you are going to
Proceed.
give
We will extend.
Congressman Marcoleta and not me. Thank you for the
Okay.
3 minutes.
Thank you.
Otherwise, you violate the Constitution.
Mr. Chairman, please.
Please, attorney.
No finding of any violation by
And-
NICA. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And since when did you have this memorandum allowing NICA to really go into the operations, go into the your distribution system and the influence of the Chinese in the NGCP? When did you have that NICA agreement?
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Prior to this administration, we had been allowing NICA, ISAF to inspect our facilities. During this administration of President Marcos, we entered into a memorandum of agreement with NICA. And also during this administration, we allowed them, Mr. Chairman, to hold office in NGCP. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So you're saying
Proceed.
that NICA, Mr. Chairman, can I proceed? You're saying that the NICA is holding office right there in your premises.
That's what I said, Mr. Chairman.
Wow. And
Thank you.
also, you mentioned about the ISAP. Do you have also agreements with the armed forces of the Republic of the Philippines?
Mr. Chairman, with respect to the armed forces of the Philippines, we have agreements in the local level with respect to the protection of our facilities. And we also have an agreement with the armed forces of the Philippines with respect to reservists. We have reservists who are employees of NGCP who committed themselves to protect the transmission facilities. And Attorney Samboy here is a lieutenant colonel, lieutenant colonel of the reserve forces of the armed forces of the Philippines. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So in all the operations from the time you started in 2008 up to now, has there been any derogatory report and you have been asked by the NICA, the armed forces, and all the intelligence bodies here that you have to be, there are violations in terms of possibility. We're talking about possibilities. Possibility of interference by these Chinese who are always intruding illegally in our West Philippine Sea, and which the Chinese has lost all 8 points in the international arbitral tribunal in Den Haag. Was there any to alert you? Because the NICA is the primary intelligence gathering and analysis of our country. Was there anything from the time you operated up to now that NICA has called your attention to violations?
Mr. Chairman, there's none. We haven't received any notice from NICA, from ISAF, that we are violating security measures and laws. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And my final question is to the President, President Anthony Almeda. You're under oath. Where is Anthony?
Mr. Almeda, please take your respective seat. I
Do
think
you-
he went to the restroom.
Yeah.
Right
Do you
there.
assure this august committee on franchise, with our distinguished members here present and the valued resource persons, can you state you're under oath that there is no possibility of interference from the Chinese in our operation, especially in the supply of electricity in this country, which was also stated by the chairman, no less than Henry C. Sr., that there is no possibility at all, and everything is fake news, that the Chinese can interfere and can black out the entire country. Can you say that categorically, unequivocally?
Mr. Almeda, you're under oath.
Yes, Mrs. Chair. Yes, there is no possibility that, as far as I'm concerned, as a Filipino citizen and as a reserve also of the armed forces, I categorically say that there's no possibility, Mr. Chair, that the Chinese can, yeah.
Thank you. And with that, Mr. Chairman, it is clear that the NGCP has not violated any constitutional provision and even the principles underlying the Constitution. Number
Thank
two, Mr. Chairman, it has clearly followed all the provisions of its franchise. Third, all that they have done has been approved by the ERC. The pass-on of the franchise tax and all the cross ownership and also the public offering. So, Mr. Chairman, I do not see how we can continue with this hearing when there are no violations. Mr. Chairman, that is my question.
Thank you.
Would you again want to go delve on that when clearly the constitutional issues, the franchise issues, the speculations, Mr. Chairman, I think we should already adjourn and let's go to face what are the important bills of our country, like my intelligence bills, my anti-espionage bills,
Thank you
because
very
that
much.
will increase the penalties of spies.
Thank
in
you
this
very
country.
much, the
Thank you.
Honorable Rufus Rodriguez.
Mr. Chair.
Like I said, this is an inquiry and not because there is a franchise violation, because that is for the committee to make, Congressman Rufus, and not solely within your authority. Okay? That is a collective
Mr. Chair.
decision. So hindi nyo kayang desisyonan ho kung may franchise violation. But again, we're looking at how to bring down the prices of electricity, and we will continue to do so until we're able to achieve that goal. Now,
Mr. Chair. Ay,
the USEC Janet Garin is
Sharon, sir.
recognized.
Sharon.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The better Garin. Okay. Okay. No, USEC Sharon Garin is recognized.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to clarify lang, ang records ng DOE on the approvals of the, ano yun, yung mga magtatrabaho na foreigners, we have from 2018 to 2024, there are directors, senior technical advisor, but we don't have the record of the individual that you are looking for. But maybe if there's such a claim, because that's way back for us, baka pwedeng i-provide lang ng NGCP kung that's the claim, Mr. Chair. Because we don't have it in DOE, Mr. Chair.
Much. Attorney Matibag.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang pong ilatag sa committee, the last hearing that we have in the Senate, chaired before by the chairman of Energy and Senate, Senator Win Gatchalian, kasi pina-under oath kanina si President Almeda na hindi possible, na may attacks, gano'n. I think if we will review the transcript of that hearing, he admitted that
Mr. Chairman,
NGCP
point of order. Can a fellow resource person ask or
I'm not asking, Mr. Chair.
comment on the question? Can he cross-examine a fellow?
No. He is not, Honorable Mikey, he is not, because I acknowledge him and for him to state his opinion. May I know what happened to that hearing?
Well,
I was
I'm just
about to ask
trying
that question.
give something kung ayaw niyong marinig ng...
Yes, go ahead,
I will not
please.
speak.
Please. Ano yun?
Hindi, nag-hearing kasi noon, chaired by... That was the last hearing that we had. That was...
Ano sabi ni... Anong sinabi?
Sinabi niya na...
Point of order,
every day-
Mr. Chairman. Ayun, Melvin.
Attorney
Eh,
Matibag, pwede ba tapusin na ho
Di ba po,
natin?
Mr. Chair, we are here to find the truth.
Yes, correct.
I'm
Go
here
ahead.
as a citizen also.
Okay. Proceed. Please proceed.
I'm not for China, I'm for Philippines.
Okay, go ahead.
Witch
Okay.
hunting here.
So what was
I
said?
don't want to witch hunt
So
here.
for
We are
the...
not with
One
something.
specific company.
I'm stating a fact. You reviewed the Senate
The facts
transcript.
are very clear. I tell you,
Order.
whatever is stated in the Senate is not here. It's what is stated here.
He
Yes.
was under oath when he made that statement.
Correct.
We are now in Congress, in the House of Representatives.
Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Chair, if you
Yes.
don't want to hear me,
Again,
I will keep quiet.
like I said, I'm asking you to continue. What was said? Quiet, please.
He stated that NGCP is suffering an attack every day.
Okay.
And
Mr.
just to
Chair,
From
may I be
where?
recognized?
From where?
Kung saan-saan. Maraming yung cyber attack.
Ah, okay. So yun ang issue.
Yun yung sinasabi ko kasi based doon sa sinasabi under oath, wala, hindi pwede.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Okay,
may be
thank you very
recognized.
much. Attorney, sundin lang po ha. I will acknowledge you. Relax ka lang. Okay? So I will, Attorney Matibag, are you done? Have you said your piece?
Okay na po
That
kasi
it be
baka
said,
magalit po yung mga abogado.
Hindi. Okay, abogado ka rin naman eh. Okay, so pare-pareho kayo abogado. Yun ang mahirap pag maraming abogado. Attorney, okay?
Mr. Chair, thank you.
Yes.
I think Mr. Matibag and I were at that same hearing.
Okay.
And I'd just like to clarify the statement made was cyber attacks on our IT, our corporate system.
Okay.
Our corporate system, unlike our operating system, is indeed connected to the internet. And like any other corporate network, it is subject to periodic attempts. However, thankfully, and I am knocking on wood here, we have not had a breach of our IT for our corporate network. As opposed to our operating network, the one that runs the transmission system, we again emphasize that this is a closed system, disconnected by default from the internet. So there are no cyber attacks possible on the operating network, the OT. Yung IT po, ang binanggit ni Mr. Almeda at that time, and just to put into context what he said, we do suffer certain attempts, but we have been able thus far to repel all those attempts, even though there are certain periods, marami talaga siya.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you,
Klaro po
Mr.
yan.
Chair.
So, I'm sure Attorney Matipag will stand by what he said and what he heard during that hearing. So we will try to get the transcript there. So we will see and compare. Anyway, thank you very much, Attorney. We now proceed to the next interpolator, the Deputy Majority Leader, the Honorable Franz Pomarin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just like I think every Filipinos, ang main concern right now is the security issue. Today, or the last 6 months, 8 months, the landscape is totally different now. As we recall, just a few days ago, the PNP was able to apprehend mga spy machines, mga gadgets, and everything. My question here is, tamang sinabi ni Congressman Rufus, was there a violation? But we're talking about national interest. If I may ask the NGCP, what's the nationality of the assistant CTO? If you have.
Attorney Paul, are you raising your hands? Is the question addressed to NGCP? Deputy Majority Leader
Yes.
Franz Pomarin, is that
Yes,
a
yes.
question
I'm asking
to
lang if they have an
NGCP?
assistant, yes, CTO of NGCP.
Attorney Paul?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have an assistant CTO, Engineer Cesar Sanchez. May his soul rest in peace. He is a Filipino citizen. His body is in Iligan now. He just died last week. But he's a Filipino citizen, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Another thing, Mr. Chairman, I noticed it talagang their main priority to hire the CTO, correct me if I'm wrong, is a Chinese national. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Please proceed.
There is no inclination on our part to specifically hire Chinese as our CTO. As mentioned earlier, Honorable Congressman Pumaren, our CTO now is Engineer Rico Vega, who is a Filipino citizen.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I understand that, but meron pending application. Tama po ba?
Wala po, Mr. Chairman. Wala po, Mr. Chairman, considering that he is a Filipino citizen, Mr. Chairman.
So walang nakaposisyon right now. A while ago when Congresswoman Stella Kimbo mentioned it, na meron ngang aplikante for that particular position.
Wala po. Siya po.
So ngayon
siya po ang CTO namin, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
si
so
Engineer Rico Vega.
because as for the national interest, we know for the fact na yung position na yun is very vital. And Mr. Chairman, I just want to manifest, it's a very shallow reason for those directors, those Chinese, not to tell us here, that's why they're not here, because yesterday was their annual meeting. Tama, annual meeting. If they find this hearing very important, dapat lumipad sila ngayon. Second, ang isang reason is it's Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is January 29. I know there's festival, but here, we're in the Philippines. They're officers of NGCP. Mas priority ba sa kanila ang mag-enjoy sa festival? I don't think so. Tama po ba yun, Mr. Chairman? Maybe we can hear from them. That's a very shallow reason. Festival? Tayo ba, if may work tayo dito, we cannot attend because birthday ko, birthday nito? That's the main concern. How can you show us na this Chinese, yung heart nila sa Filipinos para tumulong?
Mr. Chairman, if
Are you done, Honorable?
I want an answer from the...
Attorney Paul.
Mr. Chairman, with respect to the question, I believe, Mr. Chairman, that, and I'm pretty sure they purchased their tickets prior to the receipt of today's hearing. So that's why they had to fly to China. As to the concerns being raised by Congressman Pumaren, rest assured we will relay all of those things to our Chinese directors.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. And,
Mr. Chairman.
As requested earlier, notices will still be sent to them for the future hearings. Thank you.
Yes, I know that we will invite them. Pero mababaw naman, nakabili ng ticket and everything. If they find this really important, they can still buy another ticket. And Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion also if we can invite yung Nika, yung sinasabi nila na nag-office dyan sa NGCP. As we all know, I hope I'm wrong, baka they're too comfortable with their setup right now in NGCP. Because like what I mentioned, the dynamics right now totally changed with regards to what's happening here in the Philippines. With regards to, I'm not trying to zero in on the directors or officers of Chinese nationals in NGCP. Pero ngayon, iba na po ang dynamics, iba na po ang landscape. A few days ago, may nahuli tayong Chinese na nag-spy. Diba? So, if we can invite also yung Nika, the one in charge of Nika, or the one assigned to that particular office, para we can hear kung ano po talagang what's happening.
Take note of that, and indeed, the security issue is something that is in, I would say, top of the list, or top of mind of all Filipinos. Yes, the Honorable Franz Pumaren.
Yeah, lang yun. That's my query lang. It's just so frustrating. You know, those Chinese nationals, parang napaka-special for them. Hearing ang Rason Festival, nakabili ng ticket. Don't tell me they cannot afford to buy another ticket if they find this really important.
Thank you very much.
Parang pinoproteksyonan pa ng kapwa Pilipino na gina-justify pa that they're not here. That's so frustrating. Where is our national pride here?
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, the Honorable Franz Pumaren. Yes, Attorney Paul, we will invite them in the next hearings.
Mr. Chairman,
until they run out of holidays. Yes. Attorney Paul.
Yes, we would like to assure this body that we are also Filipino citizens. We take our nationality and citizenship very seriously. Nandyan po kami, and we would like to assure the body, as Mr. Henry C. mentioned in his statement, nung pumasok yung grupo po namin dyan, nandyan na yan. Nandyan na yung mga Chinese. They were part of the bidders. Partners po sila ng MOG more. Now, Mr. Chairman, we would because I keep hearing all of these things, na simply because we have Chinese partners does not make us less patriotic than the others. We would want to assure everybody that we are there, we are guarding,